What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the 8th and final episode of NHL 26 Boston Bruins Franchise Mode Series. As always, guys, thank you so much for the last episode. If y'all leave a thumbs up on this one, I'd really appreciate it. Now, if you missed the last episode, or even the one before that, definitely go and check them out. As you can see, we're actually coming off back-to-back Stanley Cup, so really hoping we can actually complete the three-peat here in the final episode. I do think we still have a very stacked team. We did lose a little bit of depth, but overall, team's looking really good, especially compared to the rest of the league. So, top line there's the same. We got Hagen, McTavish, and Pastrnak. Second line, you got Barzal, Zacha, and Rubrick. Third line, we got Sokolov we brought in, playing with Quint there and Perreault. And then fourth line there, still Lewinsky, Minton, and then Bolin we also added. He's a rookie 80 overall grinder. Should do good there in that role. In terms of the defense, we got DuPont, McAvoy on the top pair. Gooley, Byers, Roy, and Vasilyev. Goaltending-wise, we got Dolbesh, of course, as the backup. Swayman starting now at 92. Looking at power play 1, very stacked. They get a +5. I'm actually running DuPont on it just because he's got the elite Sunday with 89 passing. If you guys look at McAvoy now, I think his passing's like a 90. He doesn't have any tape-to-tape or anything. So I feel like this maybe is the year DuPont will actually pass him in point production. Second power play, unfortunately, it's -2. I don't know why, but luckily, I mean, the first one is stacked. Four-man one's a +5. Second one, there's a 0. PK-wise, we actually get +5 on the first 2 units, so I think that's pretty big. The third one there's a 0. After that, +5 on the first 3-man, -1 on the second, -2 there on the third. And now next, you guys taking a look at the AHL team. We got Philip Forsberg leading the way. Hopefully, he can actually produce down there. Tomasino's first line center. Weisblatt still on the team. We got actually Owen Beck, second line center, 80 overall. So AHL team should be good. Should mention too that the AHL team also won the Calder last year, so it was a clean sweep for the franchise. DiPietro Day there, still our goalies. And in terms of the ratings, guys, for the final season, we got 92 offense, 94 defense, and 94 goaltending. I think I mentioned last episode, too. I believe this is our first season where our offense is actually our lowest rating, so curious to see what happens. All right, guys, rather than December now with a record here, 36-1. So team is playing very, very well. First place in the division. I think, yeah, also first place in the NHL. So maybe we can actually pull off this three-peat. AHL team, 25-3. They're crushing it, too. And so now, guys, with the trade deadline with a record here, 43-17-1. Currently tied for first place in division with the Sabres, 87 points each. The Blue Jackets actually passed us. They have 93. Still, though, so we're second. They're tied for second with the Buffalo Sabres in the NHL. AHL team first in their division, 36-14-4. And look at the stats here. You can see McTavish, 87 points, leading the way. So, I mean, he's on pace for another 100-point season. Charlie McAvoy actually has 46. So, even playing second power play is producing. Pasternak's already hit 50 goals. That Grinder's got 13 points. Swayman, we actually can't see his stats because Dolbesh was going to play in this next game. Also, I noticed Robert Thomas has 98 points already, leading the NHL to deadline. And obviously, guys, for this final trade deadline will be a buyer. We can also trade all of our picks since, you know, there is no more draft. Might as well, you know, go all in here. So, Matthew Wood, usually there's better players. I mean, I do see Fox, but he's down to an 88. That's crazy. 35, and he's already dropped below a 90. Hoglander there, 88. I mean, I don't think we can actually afford Adam Fox. Even at 50%, I don't think we can bring that on. So, Braden Points, 87, but yeah, the money there is going to be really, really tough to make it work. Obviously, our weak spot is that, you know, bottom pairing left defenseman, only 79. The rest of the team, I actually think, is pretty solid. And actually, guys, even if we wanted Adam Fox, we cannot trade for him. He's got the modified NTC there, and we're not one of the teams on his list. So like I was saying, guys, next year, trying to address the one weakness on our team. That's the third left D, trying to get Jacob Chychrun. 50% retained from the Capital. He's actually got almost 50 points on the season. That's super impressive, logging a ton of minutes. For us, it'll either be second or third D pair, but obviously playing some PK. Busanus, I don't know how to say this guy's name, but medium elite player there. Obviously not good enough in time for us. And a first rounder. Neither thing's going to help us win a cup this year. Chychrun will. And they say yes. Okay, so that's a huge get. It does actually show us over the max salary cap. I'm hoping that's wrong, as obviously let's make the trade. And Chychrun is in the NHL, so I think we'll be okay. And so now, guys, the trade deadline's complete. Just made the one trade there for Chychrun, as we don't really have money to do much else. Also, I feel like the rest of the team was fine. Obviously, coming off back-to-back cups. Trevor Moore there to the Stars. Sam Dickinson to the Sabres. Kurashev to the Jets. Let's see. Chinikov to the Ducks. Saros there to the Ducks as well. Our trade for Chychrun. Haight there to the Mammoth. Lundqvist to the Islanders. Rucker McGroarty there to goes to the Blues. Isaac Rosen to the Wild. Jake Gensel to the Islanders. I mean, at this point, it's probably nothing too crazy. And now after the trade deadline, guys, of course, the four group's the same. We are getting a +5 in the second line after having a talk with, I think, Barzal about the scheme fit. Also, Quint here has tape-to-tape X Factor. I mean, he's got 98 passing, so makes sense that'd be the case. We're actually running Chychrun there on the bottom pair. I realized, too, like, we could have actually split up DuPont and McAvoy. We put DuPont, I think, on the second pair with, like, Byers on the top. We'll get 2 +5s there, but honestly, you guys were saying it probably just makes more sense to run your best guys on the top pair. They get more ice time. And honestly, I agree. It's working for us so far, so, why mess with it? Now, in terms of the PK, I think Chikrin's on the third PK as well as the third 3-man. So he's not really going to be doing too much, but, going from a 79 to an 87 on the bottom D pair where, a lot of teams might actually have 87, 85 on their top D pair. Just kind of shows you how stacked we are, and hopefully that translates to the sim. And now next year, guys, we're in a season with a record of 55, 24, and 3. So, obviously another solid year. 113 points, ties us to the Sabres, but we have more wins there, so we actually get the tiebreaker. We're also have the Blue Jackets. I'm not sure who's going to take on the President's Trophy. Blackhawks at 108, so we're beating them out. AHL team, 47, 17, and 5, 99 points. Awesome year for them. Imagine both teams could go, back-to-back winning the championship. And look at this, guys. McTavish did end up leading the team in points, 107 there, so he's really kind of coming to his own. At what point? Like 30 years old. That's when he's in his prime. Pasternak there, 100 with 61 goals. Could win the Maurice Richard again at 36. Not bad. Hagen's there, point per game. Mostly, being a playmaker. Rubric, 64. For second line, we take it. McAvoy, 64. Barzell in the 60s. Same with Quint there. And he was playing 3C. You then have Chikrin, 58. Obviously, most of that would have been with the Capital. 9 points in 21 games with us with limited ice times. Actually, not that bad. Landon Dupont, his best season so far in terms of point production, 53. Also, really high plus minus there. Zaka, 52. Wow, okay, so 10 guys on this team had 50 plus points. That's incredible, like more than half the skaters. Goaltending here, Swayman, 911 save percentage, 275 goals against. Dobesh's stats were actually better, but backups, that's kind of often the case. DiPietro there and Day both had unreal numbers. DiPietro sub 2 goals against. It's looking pretty good for their Calder Cup. Predom there led the AHL team, 34 goals and 34 assists. Now looking around the entire league, Van Tilly ends up taking home the Art Ross, 114. Or actually, Robert Thomas has a game left, could pass him. One behind. Draisaitl, 111. Bedard, McTavish, top 5, will take it. Michkov, Matthews, Pasternak, McDavid, all at 100 plus. And look at the goals here, guys. Unfortunately, Bedard beat up Pasternak there by a couple. And he's actually got a game left still. Defensive scoring, Quinn Hughes, 86. He went to Flyers. He's still an absolute beast. Makar actually a bit down there, minus 24. So maybe we won't be playing the halves this time in this Stanley Cup final if we do make it. Carson Bjarnason there, most wins. Save percentage here for starters. Also Bjarnason, so pretty much guaranteed Vezina trophy. And Wallstedt, though, the lowest goals against. And then rookie skaters here. We did have a grinder, but Ivan Petrov, 39 points. Really nothing that impressive. And look at the entire league here, guys. We did take on the President's Trophy. 3-way tie with us, Blue Jackets, and Sabres. But we had the most wins, tied with the Blue Jackets. And then we had one more regulation overtime win. Just squeaked out of Presidents. That is pretty cool. You had 7 teams with 100 plus points. Islanders there kind of screwed over. Let's take a look here and see the last in the entire NHL. Nashville, 61 points. Goals for, we were second behind the Blue Jackets. And then goals against, the Sabres had the best. We were third. And now in the first round of the playoffs, guys, we're actually matched up with my team, the Detroit Red Wings. So they got DeBrincat still there with Casper and Raymond. Good to see it. Those guys are still, playing at that level. Carter Bear up to an 84. I hope he can turn into an even better player than that. Larkin's still there. I love that. Kyrou, they actually added. Jordan Dumais. Beckham Edwards they got. Veleno actually returned to the team. Defensively, Joseph, Sider's still there. Logan Mayu. Cutler there. White Cloud. Goaltending-wise, Costa's still the starter. Okay, so it's an okay team. We're definitely better, which we should be, right? We're President's Trophy. They're the second wild card. So we'll see what happens. First 2 games, of course, are going to be at home. And unfortunately, we actually lost game 1 there, 5-2. Wow. Okay. The Red Wings bringing it to us. Next 2 games here in Detroit, Little Caesar Arena. Need to win at least 1 or that's it. No way. No way. What? An absolute dynasty. And it ends like that, getting swept by the 8 seed in round 1. Luckily we had the 2 Stanley Cups. All you can do at that point is laugh. If we didn't have those 2 cups, I would be absolutely livid if that's how our franchise ended with, as good a team as we had. Hopefully, the Red Wings can go on to win the cup. AHL team here, luckily, does make it past the first round. And the second round here, guys, they got the Springfield Thunderbirds, already actually up 1-0. And they sweep them 3-0. And the conference final here, they got the Cleveland Monsters. Let's see. So far, they're 6-1 in the playoffs, looking really good. They did lose that first in OT. They're up 3-2, and wow, came down to Game 7. They won it, and they've actually got a rematch here with the Colorado Eagles. Okay, so I'll probably just keep sending this thing game by game because, the AHL is not as important, and we're down 2-0. At least win a game. Okay, there we go. We actually won the next 2. We don't want to lose this Calder Cup title. Unfortunately, we do, though. We tied it up at 2 apiece, unfortunately. Lost in 6. And the eventual Stanley Cup champion was actually the Anaheim Ducks. Okay, so not the way I wanted the series to end, but, we came off, back-to-back Stanley Cups. It is pretty tough to win. Even when you have a stacked team, there is definitely, a good amount of luck involved. Tampa Bay, they're actually picking first overall. So definitely, a new era here in the NHL if Tampa Bay is back to being, a basement team in the league. And so look at the playoff tree here, guys. The Ducks beat the Blackhawks in 5, Wild in 7, Flames in 6, and they actually did beat the Red Wings in the finals. So what a run there by the Detroit Red Wings. I mean, it would have been really cool if they could actually, completed the Cinderella story. Looking at the player stats, so Pasta over a point per game, Hagens was on, Quint there close to, Pont actually with 3, Swayman for us below 900. I don't want to blame it all on him, but those numbers were not too great. So team awards, obviously we get the President's Trophy there, our second one. Pretty happy with that. Individually, Fantilli, Art Ross, and the Hart. James Norris goes to Quinn Hughes. Thomas there, Lady Bing. Petrov, Calder. Zellweger got the Conn Smythe. Bjarnson, Vesna. Levi got the William Jennings. Ferraro, Bill Masterton. Jets coach Jack Adams. Yoss there with the Selke. So that's the guy that was on Buffalo. I guess now he's on Pittsburgh. Fantilli, Ted Lindsay, and then Bedard with the Maurice Richard. And then in terms of the AHL guys, obviously Colorado Eagles there take home the Calder Cup. Individually, Scheifele was down the AHL, took home most points. McConnell Barker, MVP, most goals. Svitov, best rookie. Dylan Walnu's actually on our team was the best defenseman. That's pretty cool. Madsen was the best goalie. Kuhlman's MVP. Scheifele also sportsmanship. Alexiev, community involvement. And finally, DiPietro Day, for the third straight year, had the lowest goals against. I mean, that AHL team had such dominant defense / goaltending. Surprised they honestly were only able to walk away with one Calder Cup. Now, I'll take a look here, guys, at the coach. Obviously, we had Marco Sturm this entire time. He's A+ everything now, except for offense, surprisingly, is at an A. So we'll take a look. 2 Stanley Cups, 2 President's Trophies, 60.2 win percentage there. I mean, obviously, yeah, we had a pretty good 8-year run, I would say, with this team. And the final thing I want to look at, and as always, guys, the final thing I want to look at here is actually the record book to see if we possibly broke any. David Pastrnak, still 2 more seasons to catch. Johnny Busick, games played, he actually would almost catch. I mean, he needs another, season and a bit to catch Ray Bourque. Goals, though, he has the most, 849. Assists, Ray Bourque there, 1,111. I didn't realize that's such a sick, kind of record number to have. Points, though, is Pasta. Penalty minutes there, not going to catch at all. Wins is Swayman. Shutouts, though, Tiny Thompson. He's actually got double the amount that Swayman has. Looking at season records here, Brad Marchand, that's who they gave the games played to. I mean, the season Pastrnak had 80 goals. That's not getting touched. Bobby Orr's 102 assists, though, could not catch. Or even Phil Esposito's 152 points. Jamie Swayman, though, set a record 43 wins. Shutouts 15. Hal Winkler back in 1928. Some of the original 6 records are just ridiculous. Rookie records there, yeah, we did not set any new ones. And then game records, we actually, oh no, that's 2023, Linus Ullmark. 53 saves. Dang, I don't even remember that game, but what a game for him. And then looking on the NHL here, guys, you got Alex Ovechkin, of course, with the most games played. Kopitar was second. Goalie games, Bob, Hellebuck, Fleury there. Malkin is second in goals. That's 1,000% in glitch. There's no way. I don't think he could actually have gotten that many based on when he retired. So sometimes that happens with Crosby. I guess here it helped with Malkin. Points, yeah, you got Crosby there in second behind Gretzky. Ovi's third. McDavid's top 5 on that list now. McDavid also on the assists. Crosby's in second. Bobrovsky's second in wins. You got Vasilevsky, Fleury, Hellebuck all there. Probably because I'm guessing with, I don't know, the way the sim works, these guys play maybe a bit, longer than they would in real life. 50 goal seasons. You can see McKinnon actually broke into that with Matthews in the top 5. 100-point seasons. McDavid only 1 behind Gretzky. Draisaitl only a few behind. Even Matthews there on that list. So pretty cool to see. And like I said, guys, that is going to do it for this final episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, leave that thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section which team you'd like to see me do next. And as always, guys, thank you so much for supporting this series. Have a nice day, guys. Goodbye.